Hey guitar players, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about note recognition. It's one of the most essential skills on the guitar. If you clicked on this video, it's probably a deficiency in your playing, and I'm going to help you correct that today. And I'm going to help give you a plan for rectifying this problem that's probably been holding you back for years. And one thing I will say, maybe a hot take, but the only players I've ever talked to that didn't think that this was necessary are players that can't do it. Most players, almost all players, who know where the notes are on the neck will never say that they wish they'd never learned it. So let's get started. Now, a lot of you have probably seen my videos where I'm talking about finding notes quickly. Okay, those are all my Fs, for example. Now, one of the ways that we're going to do this is we have to actually know the chromatic scale, which I've been talking about in previous videos. So that's on your screen right now. So the chromatic scale, be able to say that quickly. So C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat, B, and then back to C. Okay, and then we're going to put this into an order called cycle 4. Now you could use cycle 6, cycle 2. I use cycle 4 in a lot of my teaching just because it's tradition. A lot of chord progressions go in fourths, and that's going to be C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, and G. Now the reason we do this is so that we have an order of notes that we can practice. When I first started learning the guitar and learning the notes on the neck, this is F, that's F sharp, that's G sharp. That doesn't work for memorization because you're playing something and then asking yourself what it is. If I do the cycle 4 thing, I have to already know what it is before I go and find it. Okay? And so like I've discussed in many other videos, your job when you practice is to take something that takes you this long, make it take you this long. And every day you're going to increase your ability to play it faster. Every day you're going to be going through these repetitions. So we're going to start off with a metronome, and I'm probably just going to put this at 100. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go cycle 4 with it at 100. So C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G. Okay, so that's all 12 notes. Now, what I usually tell students is, can you do that for 3 minutes straight? I won't go for 3 minutes here, but we'll just do a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, E, A, D, G. Okay? And so what you would do is you play that without a mistake for a couple of minutes, and then you up the time of your metronome. This only takes about 5 minutes a day. Most of my students, once they finally complete this skill of knowing where every note is on the neck, they'll tell me the same thing. They'll say, I can't believe I didn't do this before. This is going to help you so much. If I need a B major chord, I know that's a B, I can put that voicing down, or that voicing down, or a B, major scale or something like that. You'll know where everything is, okay? Now, we're also going to do this for the A string, okay? So the A string, same thing. I'm going to learn my chromatic scale on the A string, and I'm going to do it cycle 4, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, then E, A, D, G. And I would do that for a couple minutes. Now, I'm writing everything down in a notebook when I'm doing this too. So I'm able to gauge my progress over the course of a week. And it is a remarkable thing. You look through your notebook and you're like, oh, a couple of weeks ago I started this off at 60 beats per minute. Now I'm at 100. Every day you're going to notice your skill getting faster and faster and faster. That's what we're talking about with the latency of, the reaction time of finding this is going to be slower, or faster, faster, and faster and faster. Okay? So your job is just to be able to find that note, okay? So, and this has so many other benefits. If I need an E7 in first inversion, there it is. What I was looking for in my brain, I'm not thinking 4th fret, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret. I'm not thinking that. In fact, I never think frets. I'll play, let's say I play a 4-hour gig and I'm playing 60 or 70 songs during that time. I'm never once during that entire 4-hour gig thinking about what fret I'm on. I'm always thinking of the note and its value, okay? If I'm thinking about the F sharp on the 14th fret up here, I'm not thinking 14. I'm thinking F sharp as the major third of a D chord, for example, or I'm thinking of it as the perfect fifth of a B chord. That's why it's important. The human brain has a really hard time associating two different numerical values for the same thing. If you play this F sharp and you think to yourself 14, but really you're in the key of F sharp and it's 1, or you're in the key of D and it's 3, it's really hard to think of both those things at the same time, okay? And so just eliminate the fret thing so you can just look at the guitar for what it is, okay? And so when we're learning all of these different things, like back to that, this is a drop 3 E7 chord in first inversion, I was thinking of, I know the major third of E is going to be G sharp, so I found that, and then I put down the other voicings. I know that E is the root, I know that B is the perfect fifth, and I know that D is going to be my flatted 7. And what I can do is I can take that chord, and I'm moving that all over the neck. I'm thinking 3, flat 7, 1, 5, right? Here's a 1, 5, flat 7, 3. In this location, it's flat 7, 3, 5, and 1. I'm thinking of the interval relationship, and that has to do with the note recognition. I know that the G sharp is the major third of my E, so when I play my G sharps, I know that these are all my thirds, okay? So this is going to be really helpful in learning songs fast, also because we have all sorts of tendencies. Things in the key of E happen with those 4 sharps, for example, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and D sharp. And so if I can locate those pitches, I have a much higher chance of finding things right away. Have you ever tried learning a song and you're like, nope, nope, nope. Oh, there's the note, right? You're like pecking around trying to find notes. You'll never have to do that again if you understand note recognition, know where all the notes are on the neck, and then you're able to find it, okay? So at this point, we know our chromatic scale, which is the Western musical alphabet, and then we have put that into a cycle 4, okay? We've memorized cycle 4 on the low E string, and we've memorized cycle 4 on the A string, and then we've put it to a metronome, and we've taken these 2 strings, and every day we're going to increase our metronome setting so we can get to a point where we can do it without much thought, okay? Now that we have that completed, what I'm going to show you is called the W pattern. At least that's what I call it. And it's a method of using octaves to find all the notes on the other strings. So let me show you how I do that. So let's take the F note on the low E string on the 1st fret. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 2 strings and 2 frets higher. This is going to be the next F, right? F, F, okay? Then I'm going to replace my pinky with my 1st finger, and then I'm going to go 3 frets and 2 strings to find the next one. So I have F, F, and then I go up here. Notice that I played that twice. I did that so that I could reset my hand. Obviously, I don't have, a ton of fingers. I have 5, right? And so you could just practice that with anything. Take it in small chunks, right? Until you can do it really well without thinking, okay? Now, I could apply this cycle 4. I could go C, F, B flat, and then I could go E flat, and I could go all the way around like that if I wanted to. But let's continue the W pattern since we're talking about it, okay? So I found this F note on the B string of the 6th fret, and I'm going to put my 1st finger there. And then I'm going to drop down to the A string on the 8th fret where I find my next F. That's going to be right here, okay? That's why we need to know the A string. So I'm starting on the low E. There we go. There's my F note. Now I'm going to reset again. Remember we did 2 plus 2, 2 frets, 2 strings. Then we did 3 frets, 2 strings. Find our next F. We're going to go 2 plus 2 again, 2 frets, 2 strings. And then we're going to go 3 frets, 2 strings to find our F up here. So it sounds like this. Now I'm back at the beginning, only 12 frets higher, okay? And so this is that W method, and it really helps to find all the notes. If I did C, I would find the lowest C, and then I go to F, then I'm going to go to B flat, then I'm going to go to E flat, which I would have to play here. And then I'm going to go to A flat, which I would have to play here, actually. And then after A flat, I'm going to go to D flat. I can do it here. And then I'm going to go to F sharp. And then I'm going to go to B. Then I'm going to go to E. I'm going to go to A. And then I'm going to go to D. I could probably go open D string, right? Up here. And then I'm going to go to G. Okay? And that's going to be kind of the process for going around and finding all the rest of the notes. Okay. But as you can probably already tell, that this W method is going to require some practice to kind of get down. So we're still going to need to use cycle 4 on all the other strings eventually anyway. You got 7 days in a week. You got 6 strings. Maybe you take a day off of practicing. So maybe every single day of the week you pick a new string and you're going to cycle 4 it. So maybe today I'm doing the B string. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, F sharp, B, then E, then A, then D, then G. Okay? And actually it works out perfectly because you have 2 E strings, right? So you'll get all of them. You don't have to do the E string twice because you do the low E string, high E string, the same note. Okay? All right. So that's going to be the methods for doing this. I highly recommend getting a journal, writing these things out, writing out your metronome settings. It doesn't take long. I usually tell students 3 to 5 minutes a day. Just keep that metronome going. Okay. Another way that might be creative to do this is over the course of 12 days, do cycle 4, do 1 note per day. So I could find all the C notes on the low E, all the C notes on the A, all the C notes on the D, that type of thing. And that would look something like this. So I'm going to do C here, and then I have C there, and then I have C there, then I have C there, C there. If I up there. See what I'm doing? I'm finding all the C notes. You could do something like that. That might be more to your taste, but the goal is that there is a method somewhere in here for you that's going to work for you, that's going to help you to learn all the notes on the neck. Remember, everything that's worth learning on the guitar takes some time. You've probably found out by now that having, instant gratification when it comes to guitar playing, it doesn't really work, okay? When I'm talking about learning things instantly, I'm usually saying things like the concept comes to you instantly, so you understand like, oh, that's the path forward. That's what instantly makes you better. But over time, you're going to get faster at this, especially if you monitor it. So one last thing I'll say for today about note recognition. I've gotten some questions about cycle 4. I think I answered that saying that like you could do cycle 6, right? What's cycle 6? Well, C, it's 6 is A 6 is F sharp 6 is going to be D sharp 6, I keep going through each thing, so cycle 6 that way. Right? So you could do those types of things, but cycle 4 really makes a lot of sense. And furthermore, it's kind of tradition in the modern music world. You go to Berklee, Musicians Institute, any modern music college in the country, and you're going to be learning cycle 4 exercises anyway. So it's not just my thing. I didn't invent it, obviously. So anyway, and then the last thing to kind of talk about is why it's so necessary to know what note you're on if you're improvising or doing chords or something like that. If I know that F sharp is the 13 of an A7 chord, I can pull that note out of my voicing, or I can find it somewhere else, right? If I need, some sort of crazy sound like a D flat major 7, then I need a sharp 11. Knowing that the G is the sharp 11 of D flat allows me to find it quickly. And after a while, you're going to start associating these sounds and these interval names together, and that's where the ear training comes in. You'll start noticing that an A flat major 6, that's a perfect 6, or a major 6, sorry. And so you're going to start thinking to yourself, okay, so the 6th of my A flat is an F note. Well, what if I wanted to take another version of A flat major triad and add the 6? I could, right? So here's an A flat major triad here. There's an F note. Therefore, that's an A flat 6, right? Here's an A flat triad. There's an F note. That's an A flat 6. You see what I mean? You can start creating chords from scratch, and that'll be another video. Okay? All right, so at this point, I think we have enough for today. So start working on your note recognition exercises. Start writing that stuff out in a journal. I'd love to hear about you guys' metronome settings, how fast you guys are getting this, so put that in the comments below. If you have any questions, of course, you can do that. You can also email me. And if this video has been helpful for you, I really appreciate it if you were to like and subscribe so you can get out to more people and help more guitar players so we have more fluent guitar players out there. I also have a Patreon now, so if you want to sign up for extra perks, I have the books that I've written. I also have a lot of PDFs and charts, tabs, notation, all of that good stuff. So, all right, we'll see you next time. Have a great day.